U.S. government. Okay, we are going to start civil liberties. And we'll be doing some 5-minute videos. We're going to do a lot of those in this section. So we're going to talk about civil liberties first. Civil liberties and civil rights are different. There's Patrick Henry's famous quote. He took it very seriously. So what's the difference? Civil liberties, fundamental rights and freedoms protected from infringement from the government. That's the key to civil liberties. Examples: habeas corpus, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, all of those. Civil rights protections from discrimination as a member of a particular group. So we're looking at protection from infringement from the government, and then civil rights protections from discrimination. That's what the civil rights movement was all about, and we'll get to that following civil liberties in a separate presentation and separate test. Now, civil liberties. Specified again, constitutional protection, limitations on government actions. Limiting the government. We're going to start a new government, institute a new system of government, and right off the bat, we have to make sure government does not infringe on our liberties. We're afraid of government that does. Okay. Now, the constitutional basis, the original Constitution includes 3 things we're going to talk about in this video. Okay. The first one, writ of habeas corpus, is guaranteed by the Constitution. A writ of habeas corpus will discuss all 3 of these. And of course, the following are prohibited by the Constitution. So first, what's guaranteed? A writ of habeas corpus, when you are arrested, you're taken to jail, you're arrested, put in jail, you can't just be left there, okay? They have to take you to court. And so we're dealing with the separation of powers here too. Okay, the executive branch can't arrest you. They have to take you in front of the judicial branch, and the judicial branch has to agree with their reason for holding you. Okay, so there must be a cause for that. Now, there is an exception. Abraham Lincoln, during the Civil War, did lock up people. They did arrest Southern sympathizers and put them in jail, but not take them in front of a court. Why? Well, the Constitution allows for times of martial law that this be suspended. Okay, and that's what he did. Then once the war was over, they didn't try people. They didn't keep them in jail. They let them go. The war was over. Whether they were a Southern sympathizer was irrelevant at that point. So Abraham Lincoln used that to help him run the war effort. Anyway, you can't go to jail or be taken there without appearing in front of a court that explains why you're in jail. Now, a bill of attainder is interesting because it also violates the separation of powers. It's a law that sentences a person or a group of people primarily to suffer the punishment for a crime without going to court. Okay, again, there it is, a separation of power. And this was something that was abused in the old English legal system. We wanted to make sure that it wasn't done here. Okay, so our courts have devised a 3-part test to determine if a piece of legislation violates a bill of attainder. It must specify the affected person, include a punishment, and lack a trial. So anything that does this is considered a bill of attainder. Now, there are lots of things where you can be fined for doing something without going to court. Okay, you're just billed by whatever agency is saying that you have violated their bylaws or whatever. You don't get a trial. However, it doesn't specify you, so it's really not a bill of attainder. Ex post facto laws. Okay. Punish individuals for committing an act that was legal, okay, when the act was committed. So people may be behaving in a certain manner or doing certain things, and suddenly it offends our society, and so we make that illegal. Let's use prohibition for an example. Okay, the Constitution actually outlawed the sale and consumption of alcohol. All right, but they didn't arrest everybody that was doing that before it was made unconstitutional, before it was made illegal. Can't do that. It's against our Constitution. Okay, so new laws do not apply to people operating prior to the law being passed. All right, I use Moses there as an example in humor, coming down off the mountain with the 10 Commandments, and people may be asking, okay, are these ex post facto? Were they in effect before, or just from this point forward? Anyway. Kind of a humorous attempt at looking at it, but it does get the point across. All right. Now, next video, we will talk into the constitutional basis as far as the amendments are concerned. and we'll start that in the next video. Anyway,